Hello my friends, welcome to another TBR jar video. My name is Megan if you're new here, and today we're going to be picking my June TBR books. So last month for May I picked 5 books to read on my physical TBR, and I ended up reading 2 of them. I am currently in the middle of the 3rd book right now. I say middle, but I'm actually only on page like 20 something, 24 I think. So I just started the 3rd one. So the current book I'm reading is Crescent City. And if you know, that book is a massive book. It is 800 pages long. So I'm not feeling as ambitious for June as I was for May. I mean, considering I only completed 2 out of the 5 books on my TBR for May, I don't think I should be picking 5 books again, at least not right now. So I think I'm going to be picking 3 books for June. Give myself a couple of options, I guess. Before we get into the actual picking of the books for my TBR, I do have a couple of books to add back onto my physical TBR. These are the 2 books from last month that I didn't end up reading. So that's The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna and Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I didn't end up reading these, unfortunately, so they're going to go back onto my physical TBR for the month of June. So those are back on the shelf, and I do have one more book to add to the physical TBR, and that is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I got this at a random yard sale that we walked by for $1. Every single book that they were selling there was just $1, and this was the only one that I knew I wanted to read at some point, so I obviously got it because it's $1, and why wouldn't I? It was an impromptu yard sale. I mean, not for the people, I'm sure they planned it, but it was impromptu that I went there because we were walking back from the store, I think. Sam and I were walking back from the store, and we just cut through some of the neighborhoods, and we literally stumbled upon this yard sale. We're like, oh look, a yard sale. So I'm glad I went because I got a book from there. Now, I will say, I have not read the whole Hunger Games series. I think I read the Hunger Games a long time ago, back when I was a teenager or something, but I never ended up reading the entire series. I have seen all the movies though, so I'm not sure if I need to read the first original trilogy before I get into the prequels. I feel like I should. I've already seen this movie though too, so I feel like I don't need to read all of the original trilogy of the Hunger Games before I get into this, but I think there will likely be some things that I just don't pick up on or might not be fully aware of before diving into this, because obviously books go so much more into depth than the movies do, but I don't know. So maybe I have to go back and read all the Hunger Games books before I read this one, but if you have an opinion, let me know what you think I should do. Anyways, this is still going on the shelf. Okay, so now getting into the actual picking of my June TBR. We got my TBR jar here and my discard pile. We're shooting for 3 books, all from the physical TBR. First prompt, I'll let you hopefully read it first. A book a friend recommended. Oh, I think I have one. So The Poppy War has definitely been recommended to me before, so this is definitely a contender. A friend did recommend this book to me. As far as a true recommendation goes, like from somebody that I know in real life, I think that's probably the only one. The rest of them, I mean, I've heard people talk about like Kristen Hanna, obviously, online. People online have recommended Once Upon a Broken Heart to me. The rest of these I feel like I've just talked about, or I've just seen discourse online about them, so I don't really know if I would consider them a true recommendation by a friend. So I think we might have to default to The Poppy War. That is insane. Without fail, I get surprised about what books I'm going to be reading and what books I'm picking, and it doesn't make sense because I put them there. Like I say every single video, I'm the one who put these books on the shelves. Obviously, I'm going to be reading them, so I think The Poppy War is our first book for June. Okay, we're going from Crescent City to The Poppy War. Lots of war. I'm assuming there's a war in Crescent City that's going to happen. I'm only on page 24, like I said. Anyways, wow, that was quick. Book a friend recommended in the discard. Prompt number 2. This is gonna be so fast. So fast. Hopefully the next 2 I have some options to choose from, but like I said, how many books am I down to? Not including sequels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So including the one that I just picked, we only have 8 to choose from. So I just picked 1, so now we're down to 7. So hopefully I have some options, but we'll see. Okay, here's the next one. I think that's right side up. Fits this season. Oh, we're going into summer. What the heck fits summer? I mean, Moby Dick is on a boat. Like, does that count for summer? Yeah, I'm gonna say it does. That's gonna be an option. Moby Dick. It's a classic about a whale. I don't think it's actually about the whale. I think it's about the hunters that are hunting the whale, which as a person who loves whales and loves animals, I don't think this is gonna be that fun of a read for me, but you know what? I kind of want to read it anyway. So this takes place on a boat. Actually, isn't whale season during the winter? Oh, yeah, I'm not excited to read this actually. The little blurb on the back is like a quote from Captain Ahab, who I assume is the main character, and it literally talks about chasing the whale until he bleeds out, basically. So I'm hoping the whale wins. I'm gonna be rooting for the whale this whole time. So this is a contender, okay? This is a contender. I'm gonna pretend that this is an option that fits summer, strictly because it takes place at sea and it's on a boat. I don't think that actually works. I don't think that makes any sense, actually. I don't know if I have any other contenders. I might have to make something else up like that. Okay, summery. What's summer? Beach. What is summer? Songbirds and snakes, birds. This is a hard prompt to actually pick. I kind of want to pick another one. I know that's a little bit of a cheap move, but I do kind of want to pick another one. Let me put this one on hold and I'll come back to it. I'll pick one more prompt. Is that cheating? I don't care. We're putting it on hold, so we'll put it right here because I'm gonna pick the next one. And I don't know if that's gonna sway my decision for this one at all or not. I don't really know why I'm doing that, but nothing was really sparking joy, as Marie Kondo would say. So let's pick basically my third prompt and we'll see what happens. I don't know if that's right. No. Oh, I just saw it. I don't have that. A sci-fi. I don't have a sci-fi. I didn't want to resort to Libby this month. Similar to last month, I wanted to strictly stay on my physical shelf, like the actual books that I own. I want to stay within the realms of my physical TBR. So we're gonna put that one back in. I know I might pick it up again, but we're gonna put it back in. Well, this is turning out a little bit longer than I thought, but that's okay. So prompt 3 again, take 2. The 5th book from the left. Okay, well, my shelf goes up and down. So we'll go like this. So the 5th book from the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's Crooked Kingdom. I can't pick Crooked Kingdom because it's the second in a series, but I can pick Six of Crows. That's fair, because you read left to right, so it makes sense if I make the left be the top, right? That makes sense. Yeah, so this is take 2. If I don't read this month, we got a problem. We got a bone to pick with myself, so. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of fantasy. Poppy War, I'm reading Crescent City right now, and then Six of Crows. If you saw my May TBR jar video, you guys know how excited I am to read this. This was a book that we got for, I think it was a book with a map, was the prompt that we got, and this is, I'm so bad at explaining what the books are about. So the Poppy War is a fantasy. It's the first in a trilogy. That's all I know. The Six of Crows is a heist situation, and it is, I believe it's found family heist. That's pretty much all I know in terms of tropes and plot. I do know that this is in the same universe, the Grisha-verse, as the Shadow and Bone series by Leigh Bardugo, which I have read and I did really enjoy. I don't know if it's a prequel or a sequel, that I don't know. I think it kind of surrounds itself around one of the characters that you do meet in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I'm really excited to read this. So this is going on the TBR. I do think that's fair. The 5th from the top was Crooked Kingdom. I can't read Crooked Kingdom before I read Six of Crows, so I just pick the corresponding. Does that make sense? Is that fine? We're doing it. Okay, 5th book from the left, or in this case the top, goes in the jar. Okay, so do I want to go back to a book that fits this season, or do I want to pick another? I don't want to just resort to Moby Dick because it's on a boat. Like, that doesn't really fit the season. I think we're gonna put that one back. I feel a little bad. I feel a little guilty. I feel like I'm cheating. So prompt number actual prompt number 3. So the last one I guess is prompt number 2. This is kind of chaotic, but it's okay. Okay, is that upside down? No, yes it is. Adapted into a movie or a show. I think I only have one. Actually, you know, Moby Dick might have been adapted into a movie. I don't know that. I might have to look that up. Well, I do know for a fact that The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes has been adapted into a movie. I do know that for a fact, because I've seen it, like I said. I would imagine that this has been a movie somewhere. And I feel like, because I almost picked this one for fitting summer, I feel like if this has been adapted into a movie, I feel like I should probably pick it, even though I don't really want to right now, but I want to read it eventually. Let me Google it. Let me go see if Moby Dick is in fact a movie or a show. Okay, well, yes, it has. It was made into a movie in 1956. So, when was this book written? Like the 1800s? So I got this book, oh my god, I'm getting spoilers. 135 chapters, that's insane. So Herman Melville was born on August 1st, 1819 in New York City. One of the most influential writers of the 19th century. Published in 1851. Moby Dick was initially met with mixed reviews and garnered little commercial success. However, its subsequent recognition as a literary classic has elevated Melville to the ranks of America's literary luminaries. The novel, with its rich symbolism, philosophical depth, and exploration of the human psyche, trans the boundaries of a traditional sea adventure inviting readers into a world where the relentless pursuit of a white whale becomes a metaphor for the human quest for meaning and identity. Okay. So I got this book as what was it called? The company's called Bookworm Puzzles, I think, and it is a book and puzzle combo. So this is like a rebound version of the book, and they redesigned the cover. I think they only have like 5 different puzzle options. They had Moby Dick, Dracula, The Great Gatsby. They have Alice in Wonderland? I don't know if they had Alice in Wonderland, but this is the book, and the puzzle is basically the exact same as the cover. I can do the puzzle and find the audiobook version and listen to it as well. I think I'm gonna have to pick this, like I said. It is a movie. I do want to read it. I bought it for a reason, so I do want to read this. And somebody told me that I should read it for a different random reason, but Andy, this is for you, actually. Yeah, I think between the 2 options, so we had Moby Dick and The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Also because I don't know if I should read the rest of the Hunger Games first. I'm not sure. I feel like if I want to finish my entire physical TBR this year, am I gonna get to the Hunger Games before I get to this? Probably not. But you know what? I can be optimistic. I can dream. But I think we're gonna pick Moby Dick. It was made into a film, like I said, in 1959. So will I watch the movie after I read the book? Maybe. That could be interesting. I mean, it is a classic. And you know what? Every single time I think about reading this book now, all I can think about is the French ice dance partners from the Olympics this past year, because they skated to part of the soundtrack from The Whale, which is the same thing as Moby Dick. So I wonder if they also made a movie called The Whale. Anyways, that's book number 3. We were gonna almost pick it for the last prompt that I returned, which was something that fits this season. So I guess it's kind of fitting that we did pick it for this one anyway. So that one will go in the discard. Okay, so those are the 3 books that I picked for June. Let's recap. For a book that a friend recommended, we have The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I'm very excited to start this book. For the 5th book from the left, which I did from the top, I have 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Again, also extremely excited to start this book and start this series. It's a duology, actually. And then for the 3rd prompt, which was adapted into a movie or a show, we picked Moby Dick, which I am excited to read it. I sound a little bit pessimistic, but all in all, I am excited to read this. So that is the little short and sweet TBR, even though I don't think it's going to feel short and sweet when I'm reading it, because these are 2 highly anticipated fantasies and a classic. So this is the June TBR. Very, very excited to see what all the hype is about these 2, and excited to start a journey with Moby Dick, to be honest with you. Thank you guys so much for watching today's TBR jar video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!